Okay, we are going to start with the time value of money lecture. So, the whole idea here is to understand that the value of money at different time is different, and getting an intuitive understanding on how that works. So, if there is a cash flow, or if somebody is giving you some money today versus he's giving you the same money 1 year later or 2 years later, uh, the valuation or the way in which you understand these two, the value of the money that you get after 1 year and after 2 years is very different. So to understand that this, we have to use a term called risk-free rate or opportunity cost. So risk-free rate is the rate that you will get in the bank, where your money is safe. And opportunity cost also means the same. That is the best alternative that you could do with the money. So if I come to you and I ask you for 100 rupees, and I'll say that I'll return you after 1 year, you think in terms like, if I deposit this money into the bank and the bank is giving me a 10% interest rate, then I'll get 110 after 1 year. So you will demand the same money from the person who is asking you the money for 1 year. So let's understand this thing. So suppose you have 100 rupees today, and the most important term or the idea to understand here is that the risk-free rate or the rate in the bank is suppose 10%. You could see this as an opportunity cost or the risk-free rate. Opportunity cost is the next best alternative if you not give him the money. But if you have constraints like this money you could not deposit in the bank, maybe for some reasons, then you will use the interest that you will get on that money. So that's where opportunity cost is useful. So we'll use opportunity cost more often than the risk-free rate, because probably if you want to take some risk, you are going to buy some other risky thing, or you're going to some other person who will give you some more interest rate. So this term is taking all those factors into account. So let's understand this. If you deposit 100 rupees today in a bank, your money would become 110 after 1 year. That is 100 into 1 plus 10%. So this is time, this is value. After 1 year, after 2 years, it would approximately become 121, which is 100 into 1 plus 10% the square, and we are using compound interest here. We assume that you don't take out the money from the bank, and after 3 and so on. So this is how your money would grow. And somebody comes to you and asks you for 100 rupees, you are going to say that I'll give you 100 rupees, but I want 110 after 1 year. So the same money for you, which is 100 rupees today, is 110 after 1 year. Or if somebody says to you that I want to give you 100 rupees today, and I want to give you 110 1 year later, and you will say that okay, it's the same thing, because if I deposit this money in the bank, it would of course go to 110. So give me that money. But give me any money. I'm fine with both. But suppose someone comes to you and say that I can give you 100 rupees tomorrow and 120 1 year later. And if this person is as good as a bank and you don't have any extra risk, then you will say that okay, give me 120 after 1 year, because you will have this figure 110, which is the value of money after 1 year. So this is how you can judge, and you can find out the value of the money at the same time. Let's try to have a better understanding of this. So suppose you get some stream after 1 year, and you want to calculate what does that money means to you. So somebody comes to you and say that you give 100 rupees to a bank, and suppose you get 110 after 1 year, compound interest will make it approximately 121 after 2 years, and he says to you that come to me, I'll take your 100 and I'll give you say 70 rupees after 1 year. So this will be given to you, and he says to you that I'll give you the remaining, which is like 53 or whatever. Suppose he says that I'm going to give you 53 after 2 years. And now you really want to calculate whether this is a good deal or not, or what does this cash stream means to you. So you will say that this is an option for you, that go into the bank and deposit this money. This is again another option for you, that get 70 after 1 year and 53 after 2 years, and you will say that okay, I'll get my money in 1 year, so probably I have some need for that. So I want to find out really if both of them makes the same deal, and this deal is valid because you have a 10% interest rate in the bank, which is your opportunity cost or risk-free rate. So you have to find out how much 70 rupees after 1 year means to you. And if you observe what we have been doing, if you observe what we did, 110 after 1 year means 100 rupees to you today. So now we are introducing the word discounting and discount factor to find out what does this whole stream of money means to you. So you will bring this money today. So you will find out how much money should I deposit in the bank so that it becomes 70 after 1 year. So this is the money. So this is the value of this cash today. Earlier you were getting it after 1 year. And you are now going to look at how much am I going to deposit in the bank so that I get 53 after 2 years, and that would be 1.1 square. This 1.1 is 1 plus 10% that we use to grow our money, and this 1.2 is 1 plus 10% d square. So these are the two terms that makes up the value of money today, and when you add both of them, you will get the money that this money means to you after 2 years. So if we add both of them, and this would be approximately like 68 or whatever, and this would be 50 or whatever, and we get a term 108, and this is the value of your money today. So either getting this 108 today or getting this is the same thing. Then you'll check out to both of them of how much this money is costing. So this instrument you were depositing 100 and this instrument was worth rupees 100, and you were depositing 100 rupees, but this instrument is higher, so you will pick option B. And you have picked it because if you break up those instruments and you find out the value, then the value of this is higher. So if this instrument is 108 and he is again giving you at rupees 100, the same instrument that will give you 70 and 53, then you will pick this instrument. So you have compared two instruments using time value of money or the value of money at different points. So money that you get today is very different from money you get after 1 year, because you have an opportunity cost. So you will calculate what that cost is. In our world, we'll use the risk-free rate to understand what that cost is. So I'll quickly revise all what we did. So to calculate the value of money at different times, we need the opportunity cost. In simpler terms, that is risk-free rate. In more simpler terms, you can understand this this term as the FD, or the money that you get when you do an FD in the bank. So we'll use that, and we have T time zone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and suppose you get a stream of like X rupees, Y rupees, Z rupees, and say A rupees. Then to bring this, to get the value today, you have to divide this by 1 plus 10%, assuming 10% is your opportunity cost, plus y upon 1 plus 10% the square. And you're really finding out the value that you have to deposit in the bank today to get this alone y. So you are adding all of them, and that is the money that uh, this stream means to you today. Plus a into 1 plus 10% to the power 5. So these four terms means, so you have got the value of these four terms today to find out what does they mean to you. And once you have that, you can compare various streams, cash flow streams, to find out the present value. So the way in which this term is built up, it's nothing but you do the same FD, or you deposit the same money in the bank, and you have just added them back so that you get the value of each one term, and you add them to find out the total value of these cash flows. So you can use this to find out values of different type of cash flows. So somebody comes to you and say that I'll give you a cash flow something like this, and the interest rate or the bank FD or the opportunity cost is 10%, and some other guy come to you and say that I'm going to give you a more fancy instrument or whatever, and really you want to find out the price of them today. So you will calculate their value today and see what they are asking. And based on that, you can decide whether you want to go for A or B. So if this stream today is like calculated it, and its present value for you is 200 and this is 220, so you calculated this at your end, and suppose he is selling this instrument at 210, and this instrument is being sold at 215. So you will pick 215 because you calculated the value as 220 and you are getting this at 215. It's a good deal for you, because if you do the same FD in the bank, you have to deposit 215 today to get this stream. Of course, you have to break this down, but here you have to deposit, if you deposit 200 in the bank, you will get the same instrument. So why pay 210 to him? So you will pick option B. So in this way, you can calculate the value of money at your end and decide where to invest, where not to invest. To quickly revise, we want to find out present value of cash flows using opportunity cost. In simpler terms, it's risk-free rate or bank FD rates, to compare the value of instruments that are given to you. Now in the more complex dimension, we we have to check at risk, and the risk should be equal. So that's the next level that we need to develop. So that was it for the time value of money. I hope you found it useful. Thank you for listening.